Chapter 6 of The Blonde Lady. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Leni. The Blonde Lady by Maurice Leblanc. Translated by Alexander Teixeira de Matos. Chapter 6. The Second Arrest of Arsene Lupin. By 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning, a dozen Pantechnicon vans were blocking the Rue Crevaux, from the Avenue du Bois de Boulogne to the Avenue Bugeaud. Monsieur Félix Davy was leaving the flat which he occupied on the fourth floor of number 8. And, by a sheer coincidence, for the two gentlemen were not acquainted, Monsieur Dubreuil, the expert, who had knocked into one the fifth-floor flat of number 8 and the fifth-floor flats of the two adjoining houses, had selected the same day on which to send off the collection of furniture and antiques which used to be visited daily by one or other of his many foreign correspondents. A peculiarity which attracted notice in the neighborhood, but which was not mentioned until later, was that none of the 12 vans bore the name and address of the firm of removers, and that none of the men in charge of them loitered in the wine-shops round about. They worked to such good purpose that all was over by 11 o'clock. Nothing remained but those piles of old papers and rags, which are always left behind in the corners of empty rooms. Monsieur Félix Davy was a young man of smart appearance, dressed in the latest fashion, but carrying a heavily weighted cane which seemed to indicate unusual muscular strength on the part of its owner. He walked away quietly and sat down on a bench in the cross alley which intersects the Avenue du Bois, opposite the Rue Pergolese. Beside him sat a young woman, clad in the costume of the lower middle class, and reading her paper, while a child played with its spade in the sand beside her. Presently, Félix Davy said to the woman, without turning his head: "Ganimard?" "Went out at 9 o'clock this morning." "Where to?" "Police headquarters." "Alone?" "Yes." "No telegram last night?" "No." "Do they still trust you at the house?" "Yes. I do odd work for Madame Ganimard, and she tells me all her husband does. We spent the morning together." "Good. Continue to come here at 11 every morning, until further orders." He rose and walked to the Pavillon Chinois, near the Porte Dauphine, where he took a frugal meal: 2 eggs, some vegetables, and a little fruit. Then he returned to the Rue Crevaux and said to the concierge: "I am going to have a look round upstairs, and then I'll give you the keys." He finished his inspection with the room which he used as a study. There he took hold of the end of a jointed gas bracket which was fixed beside the chimney, unscrewed the brass nozzle, fitted a little funnel-shaped instrument to it, and blew up the pipe. A faint whistle sounded in reply. Putting the pipe to his mouth, he whispered: "Anyone there, Dubreuil?" "No." "Can I come up?" "Yes." He replaced the bracket, saying as he did so: "Where will progress stop? Our age teems with little inventions that make life really charming and picturesque. And so amusing, too. Especially when a man knows the game of life as I know it." He touched one of the marble mouldings of the mantelpiece and made it swing round on a pivot. The marble slab itself moved, and the mirror above it slid between invisible grooves, revealing a yawning gap which contained the lower steps of a staircase built in the body of the chimney itself. It was all very clean, in carefully polished iron and white porcelain tiles. He climbed up to the 5th floor, which had a similar opening over the mantelpiece, and found Monsieur Dubreuil awaiting him. "Is everything finished here?" "Everything." "All cleared up?" "Quite." "The staff?" "All gone, except the 3 men keeping watch." "Let's go up." They climbed by the same way to the servants' floor, and emerged in a garret where they found 3 men, one of whom was looking out of the window. "Any news?" "No, governor." "Is the street quiet?" "Absolutely." "I shall leave for good in 10 minutes. You will go too. In the meantime, if you notice the least suspicious movement in the street, let me know." "I've got my finger on the alarm bell, governor." "Dubreuil, did you remember to tell the removers not to touch the bell wires?" "Yes, they work perfectly." "That's all right, then." The two gentlemen returned to Felix Davey's flat, and Davey, after readjusting the marble moulding, exclaimed gaily: "Dubreuil, I should love to see the faces of those who discover all these wonderful contrivances. Alarm bells, a network of electric wires and speaking tubes, invisible passages, sliding floorboards, secret staircases, regular pantomime machinery. What an advertisement for Arsene Lupin! We could very well have done without the advertisement. It seems a pity to leave so fine an installation. We shall have to begin all over again, Dubreuil. And upon a new plan, of course. For it never does to repeat oneself. Confound that Shears!" "He's not come back, I suppose?" "How could he? There's only one boat from Southampton, which leaves at midnight. From the Havre, there's only one train, which leaves at 8 in the morning and arrives at 11:03. Once he has not taken the midnight steamer, and he has not, for my orders to the captain were formal. He can't reach France till this evening, via Newhaven and Dieppe." "If he comes back?" "Shears never throws up the game. He will come back. But it will be too late. We shall be far away." "And Mademoiselle Destange?" "I am to meet her in an hour." "At her house?" "No, she won't go home for a few days, until the storm has blown over. And I am able to look after her more thoroughly. But you must hurry, Dubreuil. It will take a long time to ship all the cases, and you will be wanted on the wharf." "You're sure we are not being watched?" "Whom by? I was never afraid of any one but Shears." Dubreuil went away. Felix Davey took a last walk round the flat, picked up a torn letter or two, and then, seeing a piece of chalk, he took it, drew a large circle on the dark wall-paper of the dining-room, and wrote, after the style of a commemorative tablet: "Arsène Lupin, gentleman-burglar, lived here, for 5 years, at the commencement of the 20th century." This little joke seemed to cause him a lively satisfaction. He whistled gaily as he looked at it, and cried: "Now that I have put myself right with the historians of the future generations, let's be off. Hurry up, Maître Holmlock Shears. In 3 minutes I shall have left my lair, and your defeat will be absolute." 2 minutes more." "You're keeping me waiting, Maître." 1 minute more." "Aren't you coming?" "Very well. I proclaim your downfall and my apotheosis. With which last words I proceed to make myself scarce. Farewell, O kingdom of Arsène Lupin. I shall not look upon you again. Farewell, ye 55 rooms of the 6 flats over which I reigned. Farewell, austere and humble dwelling." A bell cut short his lyrical effusion. A short, shrill, strident bell, twice interrupted, twice resumed, and then ceasing. It was the alarm bell. What could it mean? Some unexpected danger? Ganimard? Surely not. He was on the point of making for his study and escaping, but first he turned to the window. There was no one in the street. Was the enemy already in the house, then? He listened and seemed to distinguish confused sounds. Without further hesitation, he ran to his study, and, as he crossed the threshold, heard the sound of a latchkey fumbling at the lock of the hall door. "By Jove!" he muttered. "I have only just time. The house may be surrounded. No use trying the servants' staircase. Fortunately, the chimney." He pushed the moulding smartly. It did not move. He exerted greater force. It did not move. At the same moment, he received the impression that the outer door was opening and that steps sounded. "Curse it all!" he swore. I'm